Hey, Wellness Warrior. I'm Jackie Elmer and welcome to day number 1 of the Sugar Shakedown. Now, if you don't have the guide and the rest of the information to go through this, use the form below or just go to peakperformancehabits.com/sugar shakedown. So today we're going to talk about why sugar is so addictive, because it is. Well, you've maybe heard this said before, sugar is like the crack cocaine or meth of the food industry. It's the legal, lethal white powder. We live in the sugar economy. Think about how frequently sugar is a part of our lives, right? We use sugar as a reward. Think about small children. We reward them with cookies and candies. Heck, we even have an entire holiday, Halloween, dedicated to sugar, because that's what it is. We go trick-or-treating for candy. Yeah, the costumes and everything else are a part of it, but let's face it, that holiday is most specifically dedicated to sugar. So we reward kids. Teachers very often hand out sweets, treats, candy, or something as a reward for doing something good. As an adults, we often reward ourselves with that sweet treat, a dessert. Think about the mommy wine culture. Wine is largely made up of sugar, right? And that's a whole nother topic in terms of the mommy wine culture, which I'll get into at other points. But think about how we are so involved as a sugar economy. Is this a good thing? Probably not overall. As Americans especially, the average American consumes 152 pounds of sugar annually. You think about that. That's a little less than half a pound a day. That's pretty scary when you really look and think about, when you average that out, how much sugar consumption that is per day. And what is that doing to our insides? And no wonder we're addicted. As Michael Pollan says in his book, In Defense of Food, we truly are biologically addicted. And the way that the food supply has gone over the last many decades, we're set up to become addicted to sugar. Sugar creates that dopamine hit, it's the same type of dopamine hit that other things do. Dopamine, that's that feeling that we get, okay, when something intersects in our body biologically, we get that sense of pleasure, and that sense of pleasure is something that our brain is designed to want to repeat over and over and over again. And that ultimately is what an addiction is. We seek pleasure as human beings. We seek everything out of two things, either to avoid pain or to seek pleasure. And in most cases, it's to seek pleasure. So think about how good food, and specifically sugar, typically makes us feel that initial rush of it, right? Oh, it tastes so good. It feels so good. Yum. We savor it on our tongues and we get that dopamine hit. And then we want to repeat that, which is what has us most often reaching for that sugary thing off the shelf when we are stressed, when we're anxious, when we want that reward or whatever. That's what we typically reach for. So these are the reasons why sugar is so addictive. It truly is addictive in our brains for that dopamine hit, and our body reaching over and over again for that sensation of pleasure. So that's day number 1. Wanted to share that with you. This is why sugar is so addictive. Tomorrow, we're going to talk about why it's really not your fault that you're addicted to it. So again, if you don't have the whole guide, fill out the form below or go to peakperformancehabits.com/sugar shakedown. And I will see you on the next video.